Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D News Show. I'm Julie from Maison Jupiter, and I'm here with my lovely sister, Sophie. How are you, Sophie?
Hey, I'm really good. Thank you for watching. I really love this new show. It's so uplifting, and I really, really love the questions so far. I never know in advance what the question will be, so I really love that, and I'm always like in awe with your questions. So I really like it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have to say that I got some help from you guys from the community. So thank you for helping us and finding some inspiration on what you'd like to know. So we have our amazing channel, Sophie, who will channel directly from Source, Spirit, her guides, for all the questions that we have regarding news, but also regarding general questions about life and spirituality. So October 10th, already the year is going by so fast. This is absolutely crazy. First of all, I want to thank everybody for an overwhelming positive response to the show. So this is our second one. We had the premiere of the 5D News show last week. So many awesome comments. So I want to thank each and every one of you for sending your comments our way, sending some love, some support. We appreciate you so much. So we, as you know, or if it's your first one that you're watching, we aim to provide you with some wisdom, some information with the concept of uplifting your frequency as well. So as I said last week, the content you watch is shaping your reality and impacting your frequency. So we are here as divine feminine workers here on the earth to try to uplift the frequency as much as we can and provide important information. So we just created, after the first premiere 5D News, a new community circle on the Maison Jupiter Community for you to enter your questions. So if you have some stuff that you'd like to ask Sophie and the cards, so this is your chance to do it. And of course, if you enjoy this show, this new concept, please give us some love, some support with a like, a subscribe to the channel, and we are simulcasting on YouTube and Rumble. So choose your platform, send us some love over there, and we really appreciate your support. All right, Sophie, are we ready to start? Would you like to say something before we start, or are we ready?
No, we're ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's roll with the questions. So I will put my subtitles, and I laugh because someone said in the comments, I'm a Virgo moon, and I so much appreciated your categories underneath. And I was like, yes, Virgo energy here. So I was like debating whether or not to put categories with the questions, because we also watch like different shows where they like mix and match all sorts of different questions. But being a Virgo sun, I was like, ooh, I was almost having like an anxiety attack thinking of like mixed questions. So I like to categorize stuff. So thank you for the comment, Virgo moon.
And you know what? It feels like I'm playing in this Trivial Pursuit. And
yeah, I love it. Okay, so Trivial Pursuit question, category of questions number one. We're going to be talking a little bit about travel. So I'm going to put a news item that I saw today. So Spirit shares crash after WSJ says airline exploring bankruptcy filing. So it seems to be, yes, game over for Spirit Airlines. And as well, I saw other airlines here in Canada that seem to struggle because apparently like people went crazy after the 2020 let's say situation where a lot of people couldn't travel. So after, I guess it started in 2022 where people were crazy about traveling again. And so they said that it's the first time since that reopening of the travel industry that they felt like it was slowing down. So it's probably also because of the financial situation, people having less money to travel in general. So a lot of airlines seems to have difficulties. So I want to ask you in the car, Sophie, what's coming, generally speaking, for the airlines companies in the coming months? Are we going to see some airlines companies struggle? are we going to, what are we going to see for the airlines companies?
So far, it seems like the smaller companies are going to maybe fail. So I'm going to take tarot card as well, but we do have the card of the star. We do have the card of the blockage, and we do have the home. So more of the mom and pops almost in the aviation. I know it's not mom and pops, but the smaller companies. And we have release. So let's see what it says with people commented, by the way, on my ghost deck that I use for October. So thank you if you like those ones. I'm going to use it also in the picker card as well for the all month.
Not as good as the mouse deck, but it's okay.
Okay, I'm taking notes on this. So let's see for the airlines. So we do have, with the card of the blockage, we have 7 of Wands. So I'm just wondering, because it seems that with this, they're receiving tons of attacks. So let's just see what it is about.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the Chariot. So this is the means of transportation. So I think that there's a lot of competition between airlines, and there seems to be some kind of cartel of some kind
Mm-hmm.
in the aviation, where big companies are associated with each other
Mm-hmm.
to maybe play with the prices when they can. Spirit Airline is not a really big one. We were talking about this one in particular.
It's so interesting what you're saying, because I read the article and you did not, and I'm going to comment after your reading. Not to influence, but you're right on point.
Okay. And then what we have, it's with the star cards, we have a Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups right there. So they really try to go with new things to attract people. They try to different marketing things and different offering, and they really tried many approach and nothing really sticks. So this is more with the Spirit questions, the Spirit Airlines question, but I will cover also for what is coming for all of them together. So yeah, the mom and pops, the smaller companies are really stuck. There is not a lot of power of what they can do. And this is a card where it's funny because very, very rarely are we seeing a question about things that flies. And swords are ruling air.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, I'm seeing also some kind of maybe limitation in places they can fly to, or the airline traffic in general, where the smaller companies are blocked and they don't have as much opportunities to go some places.
Okay.
So, go ahead, sorry.
Were you done with the reading?
No,
okay,
almost.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the future of what is coming, to really go with what you asked me, we're going to see that, yes, some smaller companies are purposely, it's really something that the bigger company are trying to achieve. They're going to be left behind, and only the bigger ones are going to survive. But I do see, like I said, I'm going back with the message that I had earlier. I'm seeing that it's rule over one big thing, one big company, because if you look at this card, we have this big eye, which is somebody big that is overseeing everything and want to have the control over everything.
Well, that makes so much sense, because in the article they said that Spirit Airlines was looking to buy out another small company, which is JetBlue. And they were in the process of doing this merger type of activity. And the DOJ, Department of Justice, under like the government, the US government that we know is in place right now, declined it because they say that it would be a monopoly. So the way I see it is like smaller airline companies were trying to get together in order to do competitions for the bigger ones. But then the government opposed it, because they said that they were going to be too powerful. So it's really what you're saying about the cartels and like having a bigger agenda to to kill basically the smaller companies that are more affordable for the moms and pops out there and everybody. Okay, so next question would be, what's the strategy of that all-seeing eye of that agenda behind killing the small companies? Like, do they want us to stop being able to travel?
Okay, so if there is something bigger than just gaining power, but something that influence the population, right?
Yeah, so there is an agenda, like I'm guessing, that is trying to prevent people from being able to travel with affordable prices, right?
Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
It's intense. The card of fear is the first one. So I have two cards of fear in my 300 card of oracle that I pick from, and this is one, but it says the monster. So let me just read it because I don't read it often. More fearful than the monster itself. So it's this whole agenda is ruled by something even bigger than airlines. So it's really bigger and bigger, and it's to create more fears. We seem to have this coming up often. We do have forgiveness. So it seems like there is someone that I'm going to take cards underneath with tarot just to make sure there's no messages that we are missing. But with this forgiveness, I'm really seeing that there is somebody that is trying to play the victim here, and that is trying to not make us look the proper way at what is happening. This card is really fun because it says trying to get to you, getting closer, communication and distance. So some people are trying to get closer to their loved ones, to their family, and they will not be able to because the control over the price. So that creates being alone, solitude, and his block and unavailable. So it's big.
So divide and conquer again with another strategy, this time the travel industry.
Yeah. Let me just check 2 or 3 cards of tarot just to go with this. Okay, so what we have is, oh, that's a card that doesn't exist in any other deck. Okay, we're just going to go with this. It says in love with, and we have a pentacle.
Okay.
In love with money. So the first reason why they're doing this is for money and to keep it. If you see where it's putting in, it's like a call to the money. It's like their prime position. It's like a place of protection for this, almost like a shrine of the money. And then what we have next is the 7 of Swords, deception. So of course the judge that said that they cannot do the merger because the smaller company will create a cartel is totally aware of the cartel existing for the bigger companies. Then we have the Page of Cups, which is forgiveness also. So I'm going to take one final card on this, if you don't mind. And then the Hangman, putting people in a really uncomfortable position. So with this, I'm also thinking that the quality of planes is going to go down and that there is going to be a less competition. So the quality is going to go down. The prices are going to go up. And what is this about forgiveness? The Justice. So the judge is in on it, and the judge is feeling kind of, I don't want to say bad, but there is some guilt conscious here. It's just not enough to do the right thing.
Okay. Can you pull maybe just 1 or 2 cards to see that if this situation with the travel industry is going to change after the coming election in the US?
The Star and the 6 of Wands. It's a yes.
Yay! So have hope, people. Okay, good. Okay, last questions on the subject because this is what popped into my head while you were reading the cards. Is, generally speaking, when people travel, oftentimes they get activated by sacred places, vortexes of energy. So is this, like people being activated when they travel, is this a threat to the current establishment? And is that part of the reason why they're trying to make it non-affordable?
It's not entirely about this. It is, but there's not a lot of people that are going to sense those effects because they are so much affected by the negativity of the food, of the things that they are
Consuming.
Consuming. Thank you. From all kinds, like what you're watching, what you're eating, what you're doing in life, whatever. So people are blocked a lot of because of those things. We have Nine of Swords that is there. It's really more about blocking people to come back together.
Okay.
And really putting us in a low vibration so they can enslave us. So I think it's time for a good positive question about this.
Okay. Maybe a last one on the topic and then we'll change. So last week when I was asking you questions about the Saturn-Neptune coming conjunction in 2025 and 2026, because Neptune in Pisces and Neptune in general represents faraway places. It represents immigration, refugees, also going overseas. So whenever it's going to, first of all, before the conjunction with Saturn, Neptune will conjunct with the North Node in March, April of next year. So North Node, it will, I'm guessing, have a big boost in people wanting to travel, people wanting to change countries. So, and then we'll have Neptune conjunct Saturn, which is probably going to change the laws around immigration, refugees, but also people just wanting to immigrate somewhere else. So, and I realized after rewatching the show that I kind of asked two questions at once, because I asked you about immigration, but then you answered that it was going to be very different for refugees, that they were going to, let's say, close the door a little bit more for that type of situation for a while at least. And then for people wanting to join with, let's say, fellow family members, it will be easier, something like that. Okay, so let's ask now, will we be seeing more people relocating and changing countries, more for, let's say, not a refugee question, more like, oh, there's a better conditions of living, let's say in Costa Rica or whatever. So will we be seeing more people relocating and changing countries in the next year?
Okay. Ooh. There's a really big travel ban that is coming. I use this card for the word stop, and she has a suitcase right there. So the bus stop is also a mean of transportation. So there's a stop, there's a hold on transportation. There's something happening with transportation. I'm not going to say, before some of you are going that direction in your mind, I'm not talking about what we talked about a few years ago about the pilots or anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. No. I'm saying that there is going to be, maybe in terms of prices, in terms of visas, in terms of immigration laws, I do see that there is a lot of people that are going to be strongly pull in one new direction. So I do see this absolutely, where you are going to feel like a strong appartenance. How do you say that? Okay.
When we're live, it's never the right time to ask me that.
Oh, okay. Sense of belonging. You're going to have you're going to have a strong sense of belonging to one place where you're really going to feel like it's my home. That's the place to go. And in the same time that this is happening, it's just going to have to be a bit more patient, because it's going to be more on hold and maybe more, maybe more forms to fill and questions to answers. It's not going to be block, but it's just going to be a bit slow down for a moment.
That makes sense. Also with the Neptune Saturn conjunction, Saturn brings rules and laws and restrictions and blockages, and Neptune wants to be free, removes boundaries. So there's like a bit of a crisis or a transition there. Okay, so if you guys want to change country, now is the time to do it.
In the same time, that's positive, because it's going to test if you're committed, and if this is going to test if you really want this.
Mm-hmm. Right. That makes sense. Well, thank you so much. And someone commented on last week's show that you are such an amazing oracle. And I want to also what's the word? Say the same thing. I think you are amazing. So thank you so much for being able to answer all of our questions. You're amazing. So, okay, a question from community member about history.
Oh,
From Tim. So thank you, Tim, for the question. And something that I wasn't aware of, so that's super interesting. In Montreal, so the city where both Sophie and I are from, supposedly was a hiding place for the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. Are they still there? So we'll first ask about two separately because we could have like mixed answers there, and I have a little visual. So let's start here with the Ark of the Covenant. And apparently there's more than one. So let's just ask if there is still one of the possibly many Ark of the Covenant in Montreal.
So the first question is if currently there is still one in Montreal.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
The first one is cozy, safe, and familiar. So it's going in the direction of yes, but let's see other cards. Public enemy. It left, but it used to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, it left, but it used to be there. Let me pull some more cards, and I will show you my cards, of course, at the end. I just want to make sure that I'm keeping the channeling open. Fate, yeah, this is definitely what you just show us. Okay, public enemy, we have the Emperor. Somebody didn't want this to be there because there was too much crime at some point.
Okay.
High Priestess and Farewell, that means that it went away in secret.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Divine Feminine card with Ace of Coins. And we have Five of Wands with Healing. Okay. So I really think right now it would be, because that's my personal belief, but the card seems to say this also. I really think right now it's still in Oak Island, to be honest. Why I'm saying this, it's because it's being kept in a place where nobody almost has access. We have the Creator, which is a place of many mysteries. And if you look at this card where we have the water, we have the wood, it's really what we see when we're looking into the place of Oak Island. And for me, this is in the water. So it makes really perfectly a lot of sense that it would be there. I'm just going to take one final card on a topic, if you don't mind.
Yeah. And then I want to know why Montreal?
Yeah.
What's special?
Definitely it is in Oak Island. You remember the story of Oak Island where it started with under a tree. This is exactly what we have there. The second card is Seven of Wands, representing all the people wanted to find it over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So why
there were lots of people interested in Oak Island and the treasures there.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's ask, why was it in Montreal? What's special about this vortex of energy for there to be the Ark of the Covenant for a period of time?
So access to water was a big deal.
Okay.
Being near the water was a big deal. And it's also near the water in Oak Island. So there's something.
Yeah, Montreal's an island. Oak Island definitely is an island.
But why would it need water? Is it just for transportation?
Transportation, I'm guessing, or maybe frequency?
Maybe for hiding. Maybe with the water, we cannot find it easily. So why Montreal? We have the King of Swords and the Tower. It used to hide something else in that exact spot in Montreal. When that thing went away, the people in place, the people in charge, decided to be able to receive this thing and place it where it is. So that's possibly a crypt, a vault of some kind. It's really some place that is protected and safe. And for some reason, we're talking about some kind of cult there.
Okay, and the middle card is, I know it's the Ace of Cups, but the second question I was about to ask is about this one.
Yeah. Ace of Cup is the Holy Grail.
Yeah, yeah. So, and you're talking about something that left before. So, was the Holy Grail hidden at some point? Let's just ask, at some point in time in Montreal. And also Montréal means also what it is in the Da Vinci Code that they talk about, like sacred blood or royal blood. It means royal. Yeah, yeah.
I think it says yes. If you're looking at the cards that I have in Montreal, we had a lot of battles, and it looks like a lot of cult. So a lot of Templars kind of energy, but I'm not sure it's Templars per se, something else, but something that's very similar to the Templars in Montreal. And it says that that place was protected by many people who were going to Montreal to study, to be part of this group. And we do you see how the emphasis on this image is put on the cup? We did have it in Montreal. The thing is, it's no longer there. And I would say it's in the 2030s that it left. Why? It's because I really it's not in the image. It's just something I channel. I just see the crime in the 20s and the 30s. So I really see this as the darkness era, I would say. And I don't know the history of Montreal that much, but that's just what I'm getting. And it left to go. There is more than this. I think we have the divine feminine there, so there is more than this.
Can we ask, like, what's special on an energetic level in Montreal for all those groups, cults, orders to have chosen this specific place?
I think your sentence should be what used to be special, because the vibration is so changed now. It's no longer there. Whatever was making this vibration up is not there anymore.
Okay, but can we ask, like, what was special about the energy?
Page of Pentacles. Oh, a card on the floor. Nine of Cups. Okay. Listen, I'm going to say something crazy, but that's 3 times now that I have the same message. I think we could be dealing with the remains of somebody really sacred and important that was there. Why was it put there? It's simply because this is a spot where there was a lot of freedom with the laws, and there was a lot of freedom with what they could be doing, and not a lot of danger there. So it's not that much about the frequency before it was put there, but it's about nobody would look in those places.
So probably when it was, let's say, colonized, I'm guessing, that there was a bit of a free-for-all, lawless land, maybe at the beginning.
I would say yes, but it was always kept in churches.
Oh, wow. And yes, the church was very, very strong in Montreal. Very, very. And they call it
Révolution tranquille?
No, the city of, I think it's 1,000. What's the word in English? Clocher. It's something.
Bell.
Not bell, but it's like the upper part of a church where you can see it from like a really long way. Someone told me the word, but recently that I forget. Anyways, it was called the city of the 1,000 churches, basically.
Wow.
So interesting. Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie, for that. Okay, so now, because it's in the news, I kind of wanted to touch on it, but we're going to try to keep the question high frequencies. So I'm pretty sure everybody heard about the P. Diddy, Puff
Mm.
Daddy situation. So I don't want to dive too much into like the horror of the whole situation. Okay, let's just ask first of all for the cards. Is the P. Diddy situation helping somehow in stopping for good human trafficking?
Okay, that's a good
The
question.
fact that it's out there in the open on the mainstream, is it helping in stopping for good human trafficking?
No. But right now, it's being moved to someplace else. So right now, it's not because there's so many eyes on the question that even if you are part of the problem, you don't want to be part of it right now. So it's being
Mm.
relocated somewhere else in the world. Um, let me just see with the tarot card underneath, what do we have? Yes, that's exactly it. So it's being reborn in another place in the world. Every card is saying so. So I just want to show you one part of it because I don't read the way that if you look at the images, it's going to be saying what I'm seeing. But we do have Tarot at Midnight. This is kind of a tower energy where we do have something that is coming really fast, changing, and that can be like the tower energy. And what we have with it is awareness about what is happening there, clarity. We
Mhm.
have being reborn elsewhere in the world. And I had those cards on top of what I saw initially before I was able to say, yeah, it's going to be reborn elsewhere in the world. So this is just confirmation. So it says relocation. So it's just being put somewhere else in the world. And yeah, I
Okay,
do have a lot of auras that I'm not going to speak of. So it's helping for now in
raise
this.
the awareness.
Yes.
Okay, follow-up question. What are we learning on a soul evolutionary level while this darkness is being exposed in the world? What is the soul learning evolutionary purpose of this?
It says that basically it's we can remove it and start fresh. So it's okay, now we see it, and now it's up to us to keep it out of the country, to keep it out of our lives.
Okay.
So the soul is basically learning, okay, now we have this big purge collectively of this darkness, at least in the States, at least. And it can become a new norm. You don't have to reaccept those things in the country. And let me just check something here. We can ask for justice. That's basically what is being said in all the cards. We have the emperor and the justice. So we can ask that people with putting pressure and doing lots of I don't know why we cannot speak English today. You know those signatures where everybody has to sign to.
Petition.
Thank you. I don't know why we cannot speak English. So it's to continue to put the pressure as a collective. The best thing we can do in most situations is to be a community and to not be alone in your actions. So you're gaining power and to be against this darkness.
Or for the light, if you want to,
Yes, for the light.
formulate it in a positive way. Yeah, I love
Yes.
it. Okay, last question on the topic, and then we change gears. And that popped up in my Twitter feed, so I thought it was probably a sign that we had to talk about it. So, what you remember the last movie of Stanley Kubrick, which was Eyes Wide Shut?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, why did Stanley Kubrick die just 4 days after presenting his latest film, Eyes Wide Shut, with the final cut that he wanted to Warner Brothers, the studio. So, of course, as you guys may know, it depicts this big dark cult or ritual and operation. So I want to ask also, like, I don't know if it's a separate question, so let me know. What was he about to reveal to the public in the first original cut?
Okay, so I was going to ask you what we see as a final version is not what he chose, because there is something in the card that is not being revealed, and it says that a woman in particular. I have to say this because it's coming up at almost every question now. I think that in the side of the non-light, we do have a woman that is on top of it. We do have a woman that is the head of it. And it's coming up really everywhere in the cards that I have for many questions now.
Wow.
And in this question, it's coming up also as the Queen of Cup and the Star. This card is coming up often because in almost every question, we have this kind of influence of this woman that is behind the scene. Okay, so there was a lot of people that wanted to warn him to not do it. We do see it with the teamwork, and we do see it with run, and you should run and you should not do it and protect yourself. We do have the devotion that he had and the love for the world that he shared. So this movie was something that is done with a lot of love. We have somebody wanting to protect this woman. So he was about to reveal a person of interest, a woman. That
maybe the leader of the dark cult. And
I think so. And he was given a delay to make his choice. Did not take it. So he had a really dark time for a moment debating. So this is my card of, it says, when it rains, it really pours. Dark cloud over your head, lesson and being off of your path, of your course. And he really asked the question of, where do I go? What do I do about this? The card is unsure and anxiety. Honestly, this is completely normal. And decided, I'm saying no because it's the fair thing to say, justice. I want to reveal my things. And
wow, this is so courageous.
Yeah, and for some reason he was taking out anything anyway. So what he wanted to share was taking out anyway, not presented.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew that he sacrificed for nothing.
Wow.
And we have again this woman at the end winning.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Stanley Kubrick, for your devotion and truth. We really appreciate it. Okay, so now let's move on to another category, and we'll come back to our friend Kubrick because he's going to be in the questions somewhere. Okay, so first question here, which is something that fascinates me. And this is something that I've also come across recently. So, you know about, like, people say that Rh negative blood types are rare, or did you hear about that, or not at all?
Which one?
Rh negative, like when you're, let's say you're A negative in your blood type, or O negative, or AB negative, or B. Okay, so the Rh factor. So apparently, and we'll ask the cards if that's true, are Rh negative blood type individuals tracked by authorities and or aliens? Are they tracked? And I believe you are an Rh negative.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I
think he said that the other day.
I think, yeah. Which makes no sense, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting weird cards that is not making sense. So let's see what we have underneath to make more sense. So far, I'm getting the good luck charm. It says easy luck and charm. We have karmic partner. We have the card of Santa Claus, which is winter generosity offer, Peter Pan, and we have joy, avoidance, and social. So maybe the negative
Do
is
you want me to go ahead, but do you want me to talk about like what they say about RH negative, or okay, go ahead. Nothing for reading.
I think it's people that are that doesn't have the same needs in terms of being with people, or doesn't resonate with people the same way because of this avoidance of the social and of this Peter Pan card. I'm getting that the vibration of the negative is very different, maybe too empath to be in social situations, and more free because of this Peter Pan and this charm also that is there. So I do think they are track, and I do think it's to track if they reproduce in some way, to be honest. Let's see. The devil.
Mm-hmm.
And a very, very weird looking devil card in this one.
A very alien looking devil, let me say.
Exactly. Yes. To keep people enslaved. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Then we have the sun being reversed. The children, I told you, there's something about reproducing. And one of the two, if you're positive or if you're negative, one of the two, if you're a woman, you're not going to have the same experience with pregnancies, because if you have one, I don't remember which one, but you are basically going to have way more symptoms.
Yeah.
So let's see what else is there. Temperance. So 3 cards and 3 major arcana so far: the devil, the sun reverse, and the temperance. The moon. Oh my God, just major arcana. This is a big question you ask. And 8 of sword reverse, meaning that we have no boundaries. Yep. They're track, and it's because they don't come really from here. It's another kind of human completely, and it's a lack of boundaries. It's a lot of heavy feelings, a lot of sensibility, empath, no boundaries, and they are reacting differently to being around people. They don't have the same needs, like I was saying. Yeah, aliens are watching to see who reproduce.
Okay, so I've read a lot on the subject, and apparently, like, of course, there are different theories about it because nobody really knows. But most of the theories that I've come across talk about like how RH negative blood individual are more psychic, have easier access to their psychic gifts. So empathy, being having like a maybe more open field of energy makes total sense. They usually apparently have an easier awakening, spiritual awakening, because they are maybe less permeable to all the toxicity environment in our environment, but also in the air of all the let's say the propaganda. So apparently it's easier for them to awaken and to remember maybe past lifetimes and all the psychic gifts that they have. So they could be a threat to the matrix more than the others, but I'm guessing this is only a slight part of the whole picture. There seems to be a lot more. Okay, so can we ask, well, we have kind of a part of the answer, but why is RH negative blood special in terms of reproduction, and why is it special?
Because the souls that are coming through are older souls.
Yeah.
And the souls that are coming through, I'm trying to not be in the negative, but I just have to say it. I think that more negative things are targeting the negative blood type because of the reproduction of the negative blood type. And it's special because of, the soul that are being reborn are normally remembering more of their past lives. And they don't want to be just in this work and just no fun and just, they don't want to be this. So this awakening, And a card that just flew
They
out.
have a remembrance of what it is to be free from the matrix, basically.
Yeah. And this just flew out, just a confirmation that what we were saying is true. And this is also speaking up. They don't mind speaking up.
Which can be a problem. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let us know in the comments if you are an RH negative or if that resonates. I am not, but like from what I've read, it's not that it's impossible to get a spiritual awakening if you're a RH positive. It's just that it's going to be more difficult. You're going to get more, let's say, obstacles in the process of remembering who you truly are. So there's hope for everybody, not just the RH negative. All right. Okay. We have in this same topic, I want to talk about the moon a little bit. Has a human being ever stepped foot on the moon?
The big question.
Well, maybe I should specify. Okay. Has a human being ever stepped foot on the moon in 1969 during the televised moon landing?
So far it says no, and it's screaming at me, but just to play fair game, I'm going to add an extra layer.
Okay, I have a follow-up question.
Look at this card.
Okay. So it's totally in line with the next question I want to ask. This is so crazy.
This is crazy.
It's like a reflection of the moon, but like a game of
it's a reproduction.
A reproduction. Okay, can I ask?
No.
Can I ask already the second because I'm thinking. Did Stanley Kubrick shoot the famous fake moon landing of 1969? Did he produce or shoot?
I think he was part of it, but I don't see him doing it, to be honest. It says that his ideas were thrown to the trash. So it's like he wanted to do something and people were probably seeing that's too risky.
Okay. But he was part of the reproduction of the fake moon landing. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So now last line of questions in the Earth and the Stars department. I want to talk about the eclipses because we're in eclipse season still with the orb of influence. But we know that a very special event happened on April 8th here in North America because we were able, sorry, that might be a sign here that I'm on something important. So apparently, well, not apparently, but the April 8th eclipse was visible from a few locations in North America, Canada, and US. And apparently when you visually see a total eclipse, it is very, very powerful in terms of upgrades, energetic upgrades. So I want to ask the card, what is the effect of visually being able to see an eclipse on, let's say, on the body?
Okay, so there is two sides of it. There is a good side and a bad side. So let me just see what makes it turn good or bad with one card in the middle. Okay, so this is the card in the middle. And this for me means big changes. It's the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands, one of the keywords for this is out of your comfort zone. And it's very big fiery energy that we see here. So you need to be ready for it. Where you're seeing the energy, well, you're seeing it, you're feeling in the energy, a lot of empowerment, a lot of bright new beginnings, because we have the Fool. So people are feeling more inclined to take risk, have new starts. We have more leadership. There is this big energy of empowerment overall in your life. But if you're not willing or ready for it, if you're pushing all of this energy inside and resisting it, it turns really badly. And if you're not human, it turns really badly.
Wow. As we can see here. Yeah.
So pushing this energy inside is going to affect you in a very bad way. And if you're not perfectly human, it's going to affect you as well. It's going to be a big energy of, do you see this cup? Normally it's a cup of love. Now it's greenish, really foamy, really bad.
Wow. Okay.
And the rest of the cards are just as bad. On this side, it affects your heart. It affects your vitality in general. If you keep that energy,
You're resisting, basically.
yeah. So it's like you have this energy, restlessness in your energy. And if you're not pushing it outside by actions, you're just holding on to too many energy of this fiery energy. And it's going quick. So it's a fast acting energy. And the last card is the King of Swords. That doesn't look that much better on this side. So it affects your thought process. It affects about everything. So the fact that we see it, it's very good for empowerment, but you have the responsibility of using it. And if you're not human, I don't think it's going to affect you in the same way at all.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for that, Sophie. And we're going to change for one last subject for our questions. And I think this is already a really great show. Just before we have our last line of questioning, I want to remind everybody that we have this amazing collection of Larimar Pendant Collection. I have mine right here, and I'm just going to tell you that it is so powerful. I can tell that it's a really high quality, and the Larimar itself is very, very powerful. So this was a huge success already, huge success. So I want to thank everybody for all of your orders, and there is still a couple of days to take advantage of the 15% off discount that we're having for a very limited time. We have limited quantities. There are 3 pendants, so go on the website if you'd like to get yours. They are going to arrive before the holiday season. So also great gift idea here from the beautiful Elena from the team, of course. And also we have this promo also going until the October 13th. So still a few days to take advantage of this. 15% off the crystal candles handmade by the beautiful Elena with the code crystal15. Also a great holiday gift idea with a lot of intent and purpose to activate each and every one of the 7 chakras. So, okay, our last one, and I think you're going to be happy about this one, Sophie. So, in this category of guides and soulmates, so I have a few questions here in this category, but we're going to talk about pets because I know a lot of people from the community, and yourself included, have pet soulmates. So first question we're going to ask about that. Are pets assigned to one soul in particular?
So they are assigned to you as long as you finish one lesson. So this is a cycle. Until the cycle is completed with this full moon, then it's farewell. So they are assigned to one soul, and the Queen of Cups just fell. And they are providing a lot of help, support, love, of course. The next card is Ready Teddy, which is the name of my cat. So interesting that we have this. It says fast movement, you're ready very soon. And with this is the card of summer, but it's also the card of safe passage. So it's to provide a safe passage and support in
Mm.
a lesson that
In our own cycles of experience. Wow.
yeah,
So that's why also they have a shorter lifespan, because they're here for a particular cycle of to accompany you throughout a personal cycle.
exactly. And the grief is also part of the lessons.
Mm. Wow. I know a lot of people are going to be resonating with that reading. Okay, can pets reincarnate as humans?
It says yes. But normally they're going to have very limited incarnation as human when they are more for their soul is more as a pet in general. When they are, it's more rare, but when they are incarnated in um, a human life, it's going to be more limited. So why I'm saying this, again, I'm reading differently, but this is the card of fame and fortune. It says luxury, valued and appreciated. Their gift are really appreciated, and they give a lot of value as a human. Sometimes we need this in some incarnations. So if they have tried many lifetime with you to teach you a lesson that you haven't learned, maybe they can show up in a life. But they tend to have, it says paralyzed here, red flag, caution, and surprise. They tend to have less physical or mental capacities just because they are here to play a role. Maybe they're going to die fast. Maybe they're going to incarnate with special abilities, and they're not going to be in the norm of a human. And we do have always on my mind. So a strong connection that you're going to feel with them, sometimes without knowing why.
Okay. And can humans reincarnate as animals?
It's extremely rare.
Mhm.
We have the 5D right there. So this is when you're making the choice between incarnations of what the next incarnation will be about. We have the card of miracle, so we know it's really rare. And we have no man what takes what's mine. So a lot of human doesn't want to lose what they see as something that is a habit of having. So the voice, for example, or maybe the power of gaining money to have their own needs met. It's tough to be a pet and depend on a human.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, and last question to end the show. Could a soul choose to get reincarnated in the past? Because let's say they want to experience a certain set of circumstances.
I hope so. I always say that. I always said that I want in my next life to reincarnate in the 50s. So let's see if I can. Past.
And we know that time is not really linear, so yeah.
It says yes. It says that there is no doubt about this. It says just around the corner, and we have the history book right there. As long as it's aligned with your lessons, your soul can travel anywhere at any time. It's just to be mindful that we do have a witch hunt in many cases in the past. So to choose wisely, and the class is there. So time in the past were not easier with kind of money and politics and everything. So
and rights for a lot of different groups, women included. Wow. Okay. So yeah, choose wisely. I personally wouldn't go back. Like it seems to be very difficult for like so many people, like all the history movies you watch, it's like, oh wow. Like they had to go through all of that.
you would go to Atlantis.
Yeah, but that's like a high civilization, not something that is like let's say going down in the level of evolution. I would
Okay, I
go
have one. You would go
okay.
to Egypt.
I don't know. Maybe. Depending on what's the package that's being offered. Am I a slave or
Mystery box. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, because that doesn't seem too cool. Wow. Okay, that was really a cool show. Thank you so much, Sophie, for reading for all of our questions. Thank you guys for providing some inspiration as far as questions for the show. Thank you also for liking. Don't forget to like if you did enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel, either YouTube or Rumble. And also you can share this video with the people you think might get some value out of it. And of course, if you'd like to book with this amazing oracle for a personal consultation, she's here. She has availabilities, I think, when she's coming back from her trip, so not in too long. We have the option of the 1 hour tarot reading with Sophie or the 1 hour past lives reading. So if you'd like to mainly ask all of your personal questions, ask for guidance, what's coming up for you in whatever department in your life in the future, you're going to be looking for the first one. Or if you'd like to dive into some patterns, fears, something you'd like to get rid of, a karmic bonds with other people, or get some gifts from your past lives, you're going to be looking at the 1 hour past lives reading. And whatever one you choose, don't forget to enter Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off your next reading. And the link is down below if you'd like to book with Sophie. And also, if you'd like to purchase the Larimar jewelry, the link is down below as well. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, guys.